In this video, I'm going to be showing you all the different ways in which you can farm polymer for the Extinction map for Ark Survival Ascended. And hang around for the very end of the video where I show you one of the best ways to farm polymer in the entire Ark game. The first way is to farm the traditional creatures that will give you organic polymer: Kairuku, Mantis, and Hesperornis. To find Kairuku, of course, you'll naturally need to head to the snow biome, but there is a certain spot where you will find all of them. And that is this large lake on the west side of the biome. If we go down here, you will see there is a whole bunch of Kairuku for you to slaughter for all your polymer needs. This is my location on the map. The coordinates here are 19.7 and 67.9. There is more along a further bank. You'll see loads of Kairuku here. This location is 15.9 and 67.4. You can see there is a lot of penguins here, so you could easily clear through them all with a creature. If you're going in by hand, the best way to harvest them is by killing the babies and then harvesting with a club. That will get you the most polymer. This is 1 times rates. And I think I've ticked off a bunch of the parents here. If you are really lazy and don't want to do this by hand, you can just plow through this area with a creature, just chomping all of them. And we got a reasonable amount of polymer. You'll also find Hesperornis in the desert biome, but there's really not enough of them to justify using them as a reliable source for polymer on this map. If you are going to use this as an opportunity to harvest them though, you want to use a club to get the most organic polymer. The next creature you can use to farm for polymer is Mantis. Now these guys are only found in one location in the map, and that is in the Desert Titan Cave. The entrance to the Desert Titan Cave is at 93.7 and 73.7. And for the Mantis, you can either kill them and then harvest them with a chainsaw, or you can harvest them with your creature. I got a little bit less per Mantis when I harvested with my Gacha instead of the chainsaw. If you want to run this cave with a Gacha, you can get yourself some nice stacks of polymer, but I believe on the map there are much better ways to get an organic polymer equivalent, and let me show you that right here. And that is to head into the wasteland and kill and harvest corrupted creatures. When you kill corrupted creatures, you'll obtain corrupted nodules. The amazing thing about corrupted nodules is that they actually are a stand-in for organic polymer. They serve the exact same function, and you can use them on a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 corrupted nodule equals 1 organic polymer, so you can use them in place to craft items needing polymer. Given that the wasteland is filled with creatures that are corrupted, it's an easy way to farm yourself loads of polymer. One way to ensure that you get a constant stream of corrupted creatures to kill and harvest for the corrupt nodes is to do an orbital supply drop or an element vein. There are 2 ways to go about it. You could double down and make sure you get the loot from the OSD, or making sure you harvest the element vein for the element. But sometimes if you just need a big stack of corrupt nodules, you could pop one of these, have all the creatures come in and just harvest them, keeping the corrupt nodules and using them for what you need for crafting. One thing to be mindful of is that if you are on a server, please keep good server etiquette in mind. If you are going to do this and you don't really care about the drop rewards or the element, make sure you're checking in with your community to make sure no one else wants to do that before you just use it to spam for corrupted creatures. So you can see here at the end of this purple drop, which I ended up failing doing solo, there are loads and loads of corrupted nodules as well as loads of organic polymer. Also getting a bunch of rewards like apex items and black pearls and corrupted hearts. So this is a great way for you to gain lots of corrupted nodules. Another place on the Extinction map in which you'll find a very high concentration of corrupted creatures is the Forbidden Zone. This is an area in the north of the map that you typically enter through this arch or caveway, and inside you'll find nothing but corrupted creatures, and the biggest and the baddest of those. The main entrance is here at 16.5 and 42.1. You can also fly in from the top and enter from another side. In fact, in this area you will not find any regular creatures. It is filled with corrupted rexes, wyverns, gigas, raptors, and callies. I only recommend middle to late game players enter this space. You really want a creature that can take on all of these over and over again because the respawn rate here is very high. As you can see, we just killed some creatures and they came right back. The best creature to use here is a Gacha. You can use a Giga, but the Gacha will get all of its stacks up to 100 really easily here, and the healing is superior. So you can just continue to farm this space over and over again. This is a great way to get all of the Apex items you need, as well as loads of corrupted nodules. Some of these creatures, when harvested as well, you can see that we earned some regular organic polymer as well. So this is a great place to go to if you need to farm polymer very quickly. Just like organic polymer, corrupted nodes have an expiration time, so you need to use them right away. Because corrupted nodules behave the same way as organic polymer, you can use an Achatina to store them to extend the spoiler time. So if we look up the inventory here and we place some nodules into the Achatina, you can see the spoil timer in our inventory is 22 minutes. And when we look at the ones in the inventory of the Achatina, the spoil timer is now 1 hour and 7 minutes. Remember to store all of your unused corrupted nodules in the inventory of your Achatinas to extend the spoil times. There are a few ways on Extinction in which you can get the hard or non-expiring polymer. The first of which is you'll often find it as a loot reward for any color OSD. So if you complete it, you will find that there is hard polymer as a resource reward inside. As always, you can make polymer in the fabricator with cementing paste and obsidian, but there is another way to get a large amount of polymer that will never expire until you need it, and let me show you how. One of the best ways to farm organic polymer is to do it at your base while you do the rest of your Ark chores, and to do that you'll need to tame a Gacha. Gachas have special production abilities. If you go to the production menu, you will see some that are able to produce organic polymer. You want to select this as the preferred production one. In order to get your Gacha to produce crystals, you'll need to feed it, and I usually feed it stone and do so by dropping it out of my inventory and letting the Gacha pick it up. Your Gacha will then proceed to eat the stone and munch on it, and as they do this, they will develop Gacha crystals that form on their back. After some time, the Gacha crystals will be ejected from the back of the Gacha and they will fall to the ground. Now you can pick these up by hand, or now a new ability with the Pegamastics is for them to pick up Gacha crystals. The amazing thing about Gacha crystals is that they have no expiry timer, and we know for sure that we set the production to organic polymer. So what you can do over time, either using your Pegamastics or when you're hanging around at base, is collect a bunch of Gacha crystals. You can store all of these crystals in a vault, and as I said, they don't expire. You can keep them for when you actually need them. Because we know organic polymer expires, so when you're ready to craft an item that needs polymer, you grab the crystals, open them, and you might get a little bit of loot, but you'll get all of your polymer as well, meaning that you can get polymer on demand with a Gacha. This is great. You can keep it, store it, and when you're ready to use it, you don't have to worry about expiring organic polymer. I feel like this is one of the best ways to farm polymer in the entire game. My name is Krabbytron and I make accurate and concise guides for Ark Survival Ascended. If that's what you like, you can click on this one right here, or you can subscribe for more.